Hi, I'm London Kaye, and today we're gonna make one of my favorite projects ever, the London eye. Here's what you'll need. So I'm gonna start with some black yarn and making a slip knot. And to begin, we're gonna start by creating a circle. If you need to learn how to make a circle, we have a nice video on how to start that process. So as I begin, I am going to increase in each hole that I've created as I go around. And increasing is simply doing 2 single crochets in a stitch. I'm gonna work my way around one time to create the pupil of the eye. And try to make, the key for this project is keeping it nice and flat. So as you go, just keep stopping and making sure things are looking flat. If they're not, you can either take out stitches or kind of pat it down as you go. So I've created my pupil here, so let's go ahead and cut. And I'm gonna need this later. Now, the pack is gonna come with 3 different blues, but go ahead and pick your 2 favorites that you like, or you can just stick with one, or you can use all 3. Feel free to mix and match, but I'm gonna begin with the darker of all the blues. Go ahead and change colors and continue to work your way around the circle. This time, I increase in about every other stitch, but just add a stitch in the hole whenever you feel like the work begins to twist and turn in a way that you don't want it to. Every other stitch, though, generally does the trick. Also try to keep it like nice and loose and relaxed. That helps as well. I'm going around and creating 2 more rows with this first choice of blue that I've used. The first time I made this eyeball, I made beanies for everyone in my family. I started yarn bombing about 4 years ago, and my grandfather unfortunately passed away right at the beginning of that time, so he never really got to see where this went. But Thanksgiving was his favorite holiday, and I made beanies for everyone with a big bright blue eye because he had just the brightest blue eyes. And ever since then, this eyeball's kind of been my signature logo, or just something I put on everything. When I crochet sneakers, I put the eyeball on the back. I use it as my kind of, I don't know, personal favorite piece that I've ever done. So it's special to me in that way, but I just really am grateful to get to share how I make it with you. So I'm coming up on the end of my second row of blue, and now I'm increasing less and less, but you still have to increase as you go so it stays flat. As I'm working on this row, it's about the 3rd to 4th row of my circle. I'm increasing about every 4 stitches. So I'm single crocheting. Once I hit 4, I add an extra stitch. But depending on how loose or tight you're crocheting, it may be different. I'm now gonna change colors and do 1 more row around in a different blue, just to add a little bit of like texture and variety. And all eyeballs are a little like, they're not perfectly one color, so I think this makes it a little more real. You can see how mine is kind of going up on one side, so I'm just gonna kind of push it down, flatten it out. I've made it all the way around, done with blue. I'm gonna go ahead and trim. And this next step is really fun. Well, I think it's fun. Everything about crochet is fun. So after you change your color, we're moving on to white. And to create the edges of the eye, you're just gonna make 2 triangles on either side. So we're gonna go around in the circle, but stop and turn our work before we keep going around. So I'm gonna go ahead and crochet about 6 single crochets. I'm actually gonna crochet 7, chain and turn. You may wanna crochet 6 or 5 or 4. You're gonna skip your first stitch and then continue working your way down until you reach the end. I'm not gonna go all the way to the end. I'm gonna stop one stitch early because I'm creating a triangle and I need to make it smaller as I move up. So I stop, I turn, I'm gonna skip this first stitch and go right into the next one. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, stopping one before, turning my work, skipping that stitch, and now I'm gonna have 1, 2, stopping one before, turning my work, skipping, going into 1, turning it again, and doing 1 more. Now I've created my first point. Let's turn it back around, and now we're gonna work our way all the way across to the other side, doing single crochet as we go. Once you get to the other side, you're gonna start doing the same thing you did before. A little tip though, is sometimes I'll fold it in half to kind of see where I started that point to move in, just to make sure it's even. So now I know right here is where I'm gonna begin my pointed edge. So I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm gonna turn, skip the first one, jump to the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And because I'm like a little bit off, I'm gonna actually do 6 on this row, just to see how it looks. I think that looks a little better. So use your own judgment. You wanna make them as even as possible, so don't really worry about the number at this point. Make sure they just look about the same. Since we've already worked around this side, now we're gonna single crochet back around on the other side. This helps smooth it out. Let's go ahead and trim the white yarn, and we are gonna move on to black. I'm gonna switch that over at the point, and to start out, we're just gonna single crochet around the bottom edge here. Awesome. Look at that. We've made our nice row down at the bottom. Now we're gonna work our way around and create eyelashes as we go. You're gonna do the same thing all the way across, so let me show you at the beginning what we're doing here. You're gonna single crochet. I like to single crochet 3 across, 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm gonna chain, and that's what's gonna create the lash. So I'm gonna chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. You can make your lashes however long or short you want. So you're gonna chain 3 up, and then you're gonna work your way back down that chain to connect it to the white. To do that, you're gonna go in the first hole with a single crochet, 1, 2, and your third one, you're gonna put in that same hole as where you left off with that chain, and 3. Now, I'm gonna single crochet across 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. The last one was 3, so now I'm gonna chain 4 because I feel like the eyelash should grow. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I'm gonna single crochet back down that chain to connect it to the white. And go ahead and connect it at the base there. Great, 2 eyelashes down. Next up is just gluing the back. So you obviously have a front and you have a back with all those crazy strings. It's nice to sometimes do a double knot. And then you can finish it off with a dollop of glue if you want to make them hold nice and tight. You could put this eyeball on a bag. Just use the hot glue, put it on a bag. You could put this eyeball on a pillow, as I was saying, on a blanket that you've made. It's so versatile. You could put it up over your bed and, to keep all the evil spirits away. There's so many choices. Thanks for making the London Eye out of the London Eye theme pack with me. And as always, thank you for crocheting outside the lines.